Hey everybody, I felt compelled to make this video and I waited a little while to make it because I wanted to find out everything that has happened, at least as much as I could, to have a very good understanding of exactly the events that took place with FTX and Alameda and what kind of harm it has done for our industry. And after spending many hours on Twitter Spaces with a bunch of industry leaders and insiders from FTX and other exchanges that came on. We had CZ and Elon Musk and Kim.com and Simon Dixon and many other exchange operators coming in to the spaces to give us their perspective what's going on. And I feel like now I have a good idea about what happened. My heart goes out to all of you guys who have been affected by this whole ordeal. It is extremely bad, and I know that a lot of you are feeling this right now. Some had most of their net worth on FTX, or were working with Alameda in one way or another, or had invested in or were part of many other companies that will be affected by this ordeal. And so I'm sorry that you're going through that right now. So how does this small, nascent industry grow to a place where people feel comfortable participating? What do we do moving forward? That is the question I think it's now time to answer, because what's done is done, and we must learn from this and move forward. We need to hold ourselves, the entire industry, up to higher standards. We need to return to the principles and why we came here in the first place, the good that blockchain can do. We need to focus less on things like immediate price and more on scrutinizing and self-regulating and being scrupulous with everything that we do. You got two groups of people that are really looking at us, right? You got the everyday person, the retail investor, the people who are putting in some of their hard-earned cash into the industry, hoping to see that appreciate, or maybe they want to build. But then you've also got major players, governments, huge funds, pension funds that manage the wealth of countries and education systems and governments, family offices and VC that historically have been very conservative on their investments and used to things like real estate and much more mature industries. And you've got regulators. And we need to be able to hold our head high and get to a place where we look much more responsible, like adults who obey by best practices and principles. I would love to see us working together to try to prevent things like this from happening in the future. We need to work together to find solutions and to make sure that these kind of things don't happen moving forward. And sure, you could look at the legacy financial industry and see things like Lehman Brothers and say this happens in other industries as well. And I'm not saying that it won't happen in this industry again. However, I think that we can learn a lot of lessons from this, from things like not keeping our funds on exchanges and other kinds of principles. And we can do a video on that later about how to protect yourself. But also from an industry, we can hold ourselves to higher expectations, set standards, create alliances, use best practices, and make sure that these best practices are agreed upon by many different industry players in order to create things that the individuals and industry and enterprises can use to understand what are the best operating practices for things like exchanges or DeFi protocols or anyone who custodies funds for somebody, or even wallet solutions. So it would be nice if not only things like for custodians that the proof of funds were public and provable, but also that we had some idea of what they should be doing to ensure that we can trust them. So I wanted to make this video, and I didn't want to go into detail about, exactly what happened and who's to blame. I think it's all pretty clear by now, and there's plenty of other people doing that kind of content. But what I wanted to tell you is to not be disheartened and remember what this industry is about. And it is an exciting industry. It is going to do revolutionary things, and it will recover. We will recover, and we will move onward and upward, and people will build phenomenal things, and standards will be created, and we will self-regulate. It will take time. And I want you guys to know that it's not the first time this industry has gone through something like this. It's happened many times before, and it sucks every single time, and it hurts every single time. But every time it does, we learn lessons, people get more cautious, and this is what it takes for a new, radical, powerful, and exciting industry to grow into something that becomes something that the world uses. So I just wanted to get this message out to you to give you my perspective on what was going on and how I feel moving forward. I can tell you that we are working on things actually that can help bring awareness and help self-regulate the industry. And I will share those things with you in time. But remember to be safe, be vigilant, ask questions, make sure you do your research, and we will be okay. And don't give up on the space, because it is incredibly exciting, and I'm confident that this will be something super disruptive that becomes something that everybody uses in the next 10 to 20 years. Thanks guys for listening. Please share this with everybody, and I will see you guys later.